Your brain already knows how to make its own focus drug. Dopamine isn't just a pleasure chemical, it's the signal your brain uses to decide what's worth paying attention to. When dopamine is low, everything feels like noise. Tasks feel heavy. Focus feels like pushing through mud. And most people try to fix that with caffeine or supplements or just pushing harder. But the research points to something simpler and more sustainable. Your body can produce more dopamine on its own. You just have to give it the right inputs. Most people think dopamine is about pleasure, reward. The hit you get from a like on Instagram, that's part of it. But its primary function is different. Dopamine drives motivated attention. It's what makes your brain lock onto a task and stay there. It regulates work and memory, the mental space where thinking actually happens. When dopamine pathways are functioning well, focus feels effortless. When they're depleted through chronic stress, poor sleep, processed food, or constant digital stimulation, concentration becomes genuinely difficult. Not laziness, neurochemistry. The good news is that dopamine synthesis is directly influenced by what you eat and how you move. Dopamine is made from an amino acid called tyrosine, and tyrosine comes entirely from food. The foods highest in tyrosine: eggs, lean beef, chicken, fish, tofu, dairy, almonds, pumpkin seeds, avocado. But tyrosine alone isn't enough. Your brain also needs specific cofactors to complete the conversion, particularly vitamin B6, folate, and iron. Without them, the raw material sits unused. This is why simply eating more protein doesn't always translate to better focus. The full chain has to be supported. One form worth noting: N-Acetyl L-Tyrosine, a more bioavailable version of tyrosine that crosses the blood-brain barrier more efficiently than standard tyrosine. It appears in several evidence-backed nootropic formulations specifically because of this superior absorption. There's also the sugar connection. High glycemic diets cause rapid dopamine spikes followed by steep crashes. That afternoon fog you feel after lunch isn't random, it's your dopamine system recovering from a spike it didn't need. Food is one lever, behavior is the other. 3 habits the research consistently links to sustained dopamine output. Cold exposure. A 2022 study found that cold water immersion increases dopamine levels by up to 250%. And unlike food or stimulants, the effect lasts 2 to 3 hours. A cold shower in the morning isn't just discipline, it's dopamine priming. Deliberate movement. Aerobic exercise increases dopamine synthesis and upregulates dopamine receptors, meaning your brain becomes more sensitive to the dopamine it already has. Even 20 minutes of walking produces measurable effects. Task completion. Your brain releases a small dopamine pulse each time you finish something, even something small. Breaking large tasks into discrete steps isn't a productivity trick. It's dopamine architecture. This kind of research is what Cognitive Insight Lab covers every week. If you want to keep up, subscribing takes 2 seconds. If your focus has been unreliable, the answer probably isn't more caffeine. Start with the inputs your brain actually needs. Tyrosine-rich foods at breakfast, cut the high glycemic lunch, add 20 minutes of movement, and try a cold shower before you sit down to work. These aren't hacks. They're the conditions your dopamine system was designed to work in. The full breakdown, including the research on N-Acetyl L-Tyrosine and specific dietary protocols, is linked in the description. This video is for educational purposes only. Always consult a healthcare provider before changing your diet or health routine.